Good day and welcome to the dining table. Iran speaks at the United Nations Security Council. Subscribe, like, and share. A representative from Iran is in the United States attending the United Nations Security Council, giving a testimony on Gaza. We don't often hear from the Iranian government. A representative from Israel, who was also at the Security Council, was not too happy that a representative from Iran was able to attend the United Nations Security Council in the United States. But United States cannot do that. Part of hosting the United Nations, they have to allow representatives from other countries to attend, even if they do not have a good relationship with them. Let's listen to the representative of Iran. They are said to support and fund groups such as Hamas and the Houthis, but they're here to talk on Gaza. Let's hear from him.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Mr. President, I thank you for organizing this timely meeting. Mr. President, Your Excellencies, we have all gathered today in the Security Council in a situation where the occupying and apartheid regime of Israel does not observe any red line in the genocide against Palestinians in Gaza and the West Bank. The United States, as the practical supporter of the Israeli regime in its crimes, has prevented this body from effectively fulfilling its inherent duties in stopping the overt genocide of a nation and establishing a ceasefire in the Gaza Strip. On the other hand, the United States repeatedly expresses its grave concern about the spillover of tension in the region, and yet continues its full support to the Israeli regime, war machine, and even violates the sovereignty of Yemen and expands the scope of the conflict. The United States must bear the responsibility for its consequences. Instead of calling on others to exercise restraint, the United States must compel the Israeli regime to stop the war and pull itself out of the trap that the Israeli regime has set to drag the United States into direct conflict. Mr. President, Your Excellencies, we believe that the future of Palestine belongs to all Palestinians. I stress that the killing of innocent civilians, especially women and children, must be stopped immediately. War is not the solution. Security cannot be achieved by resorting to the use of force and committing the crime of genocide in Gaza. The killing of civilians in Gaza and the West Bank cannot continue until the so-called total destruction of Hamas, because that time will never come, and because in the past 80 years, these nations will of still has not weakened. Therefore, the Security Council must fulfill its legal and charter-based responsibility by ending its prolonged inaction and by adopting decisive resolution. Mr. President, I wish to emphasize that it is necessary to completely lift the human blockade of Gaza and ensure delivery of humanitarian aid to all areas in the north and south of Gaza. I should also underscore the urgent need to provide the necessary facilities for the return of the people of Gaza to their own areas and the settlement of displaced and homeless people and the help of the international community for the reconstruction of infrastructure. We support the recent action of the South Africa to bring this case to the International Court of Justice. Today, some political ideas for the future of Palestine are discussed. In any idea, the leaders of the Palestinian groups and the Palestinian people should have the right to choose their own fate. Mr. President, the United States and the United Kingdom made a strategic mistake with the military attack on Yemen,
Check out
which
my
will
video for
result
that.
in the risk of further expanding the scope of the war in the region. We all consider maritime safety and security to be vital for global trade and energy security. However, security is an interconnected concept. The course of developments shows that stopping the genocide in Gaza is its main key to is the main key to the restoration of security to the region. Mr. President, Your Excellencies, Netanyahu seeks his own political life in war, and the survival of the Israeli regime relies on regional crisis and spilling over of conflict. Islamic Republic of Iran strongly supports security in the region. Thank you, Mr. President.